Hello, my name is Tamara Greer and I am the Instructional Services and one of the reference librarians here at the Cleveland State Community College Library. And today we're going to talk about how you select databases for your research and then how you might use those to complete your research. So you can see we've started out here at our CougarNet page. We've gone to the left and selected our Library tab. Now we're going to go past our catalog and we're going to go down here to the middle under Electronic Databases and click on Databases A to Z. This is a complete list of all the databases that we have available to us. There are two different kinds of databases here. We have multidisciplinary databases, meaning it has information and articles from all the disciplines available. And then we have subject-specific databases. So here to the left, you'll actually see we have an Academic One file. This is a multidisciplinary database. It says it has millions of articles over all of these journals. But then if you look directly under it, we'll scroll down just a little bit, we see two databases under that, Agricola and Agriculture Gale One file. And as you read the descriptions, you'll see that they emphasize agriculture only. So as you're deciding which database to use, you're going to want to first decide whether you want to use a multidisciplinary database or whether you want to use a subject-specific database. We recommend that you use the multidisciplinary databases when you first start your search, and then as your search progresses, as you refine your search question a little bit more, then you transition into the subject-specific databases. There are a couple of ways that you can find databases from this screen. The first way is look over here at the popular databases. This is going to be great to find your multidisciplinary databases like your Academic One file and your Omni file full text. Another way is you'll see we have A to Z right here. So if you're looking for a business database and you don't know exactly what one is called, you can click on B. And if we scroll down, we see we have a lot of business databases right there. The last way is to go up to this top line and type things in our search box. So if you know the name of the database you're looking for, you can type that directly into here and it'll take you directly to it. Okay, so we're going to go into Gale One file first. And you'll notice a lot of our databases are either Gale or EBSCO. So when you're choosing your databases, make sure you choose a Gale database and an EBSCO database. They'll have a little bit different things in each database. So we'll start with our multidisciplinary, our general Academic One file for Gale. And here's our basic screen. We're going to go down here and hit Advanced Search. And you see we have multiple bars here. So we're going to start typing some search terms in. This is going to get us anything that's either information or digital, and then we're looking for, okay, and you'll notice that the search for it automatically defaults to and. That's mostly what you're going to use, but if you want to change it to or not, that's fine. If you understand how to use Boolean, you want to go ahead and do that. Gale will always check your full text documents, but you do want to make sure you click on peer reviewed journals. The other thing you might limit down by is the publication type if you want to look for anything in the last year, the last 5 years. So we'll go ahead and scroll down to the bottom and we're going to click on search. You'll see here at the top, this is how many returns we got. 5,000 is a lot. So if this was a search you were doing, you would want to go ahead and try to narrow that down some. You're going to do that over here. Most of the time you'll go use publication date, could possibly use subjects or documents type. Let's look at publication date real quick. Okay, and it asks you for a range of from or a to. You can see these are all of the searches that I've typed in before, so we'll just go ahead and choose one of those. You do want to make sure you're using month, day, and year. If you wanted, you could also use the calendar. And then we'll click on the to date, and we'll just choose today's date and click apply. And you'll see this automatically gets us down to about 1,500 results. So again, that's still a lot, but it's much better than what we were looking at before. Right under that, you'll see these blue boxes here. These are the ways we've already refined our search. So if we had made that revision on our date and it had taken it down to 10 articles or less or something very small, and none of those articles was going to work for us, we can just go through and click out of all of these boxes and it'll actually expand our search for us. As we're looking, each one of these is an item result that could possibly match our search. You'll see here it says peer reviewed. So we've told the database that we only want to look at things that are peer reviewed. But if you forget that step, this is where it will always tell you if it's peer reviewed. If you look at this second line and there's nothing there, then that means that it's not a peer reviewed article and you may need to look for something else. So let's just click into this real quick just to look at a few things. You'll see right here, here's our title and our author along with the date of publication. And here's all of the publication information, the journal article and the publisher. If we look to the top, there's a couple of things I want to point out. We have lots of ways that you can save this document, and you really need to be making sure that whenever you do a search, that you save the document whenever you find it. And these are the ways you will do that. You are going to have send to, which will allow you to send it to your Google Drive, send it to your OneDrive. It'll also allow you to email it. Just make sure if you click on email that you're clicking the PDF version, if that is available. And then you also have download or print. Under this bar here, we'll see we have the same information, send to Google Drive, send to your OneDrive, email it, download it, or print it. Again, that's just because Gail is very well aware of how much you need to save these documents. Looking back at the top, we actually have a citation button. So if you're using a citation style that is one of the ones that's used a lot, this is a great tool for you to just go ahead and copy and paste the citation. You will need to make sure you go back and make sure the citation has formatted correctly, that it actually looks the way it is, so just double checking it against everything else. But if you're using a major citation style, then this is a good way to cut down some of the time of your citations. If we look over here to the right, I just want to point out a couple of things. We have some explore options. So Gail knows what you're looking at. It knows what is in the particular article that you have found. And these explore options to our right are ways that Gail is pointing you to other resources. So you found one resource and you're using it to find other things. So this more like this section, those are all other articles. I will caution you though that we haven't done any of our limitations. So if you had limited it by date, if you'd limited it by peer review, you will have to go in and make sure that that is peer reviewed if you need a peer review, or it's during a certain date range if that's what you're looking at. Gail doesn't run those limitations for you directly from the screen, but that's a great way to start. And right under that, we have related subjects. So again, Gail says this is what you're looking at. These are some of the subjects that might be really helpful. So that's a good way to get more information. Again, though, we haven't run our limitations on that, so you will just need to make sure everything's peer reviewed or not. So that is Gail. We're going to go back to our databases A to Z. We're going to go back to our right to our popular databases and scroll down until we get to OmniFile Full Text. Gale and EBSCO are two different database vendors. They are the main database vendors that Cleveland State works with. So as you're looking through library databases, you're much more likely to be using one of those. So we're going to go down here to advanced search. Again, just getting ourselves in the habit of doing that. That way we have more precise results. We're going to put in the same search that we did before. Okay, and then we're going to scroll down. EBSCO doesn't automatically tell you just full text, but so you need to make sure you're clicking that. We do have here our scholarly peer reviewed journals button, and right under that is our published date. So with EBSCO, you don't have to put in month, day, year. You can just put in the year if that's all you want to put in. If, however, you have a month and a day, that's great. Again, the more precise information we can get, the better for these kind of research projects. So then we'll just hit search. And these are all of our search results. Just really quick, if you've never seen this green need help button, that's actually our library chat button. That puts you directly in contact with a librarian. It's a great way to get some help if you're right in the middle of your search. If we look to the left, we have all of the ways that we have already limited this down. Again, 4,000 results, probably would like to try to limit that down a little bit more. If we scroll down under that, these are all the ways that we can limit it down. We have our peer review option, our date option, as well as a couple of others that you can look at down here. If we click into one of these results, we have our title, our author information right here, and here's our publication source information. Here are the keywords right here in the middle. So when we were looking at our Gale database and we had looked to the right under the more like this, these keywords those are subject headings that are kind of like that in Gale, so you just click onto that and it'd be things like you're already looking at. If we look to our right under tools, we have a lot of options. And again, like I said, you want to make sure that you are saving everything as soon as you possibly can. Whether or not you actually think you're going to use it, whether or not you end up using it, make sure you save it when you first find it. So we have Google Drive, we have print, we have email, we have save. Directly under that, we have our citation button that has all of our major citation formats. Again, you need to make sure that it is formatted correctly. You need to make sure that there hasn't been some kind of, a period in the wrong place or something like that. But this is a great starter citation for you. And then if we look to our left, we're going to click into our PDF so we can just look at a few things really quickly. So here's our article. Here's our download and our print right there. And then if we look to our right, these are the exact same buttons we had on the other screen. They're just a little smaller. So lastly, if we just look over here to the left, these are all of the other articles and the journal in which this article appears. So it's always a good idea just to look through those and see if there's anything else in that particular journal that you could possibly use. So that's just a really quick introduction to how you can choose databases and some of the things you can do once you get in those databases. If you have any questions along the way, like any library help, we're back on our CougarNet page and you'll see we have our library hours. In addition, we have our contact information, the library email, and the library phone.